See, these are all the different applications can be hosted or can be used at the PaaS, that is in the middleware. This PaaS is going to provide the solution with the same platform used by the user irrespective of their services. It depends on the infrastructure of the service provider. As the users only the request for different types of services from the cloud service provider. So this is the PaaS service and it's going to provide different types of services. Dear students, welcome to Computer Science classes. I am Ravi Kumar KR, lecturer in Computer Science, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. So, in this session, we are going to talk about the different cloud service models. They are IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. These are the reference model of cloud service. Let us discuss these things one by one. Now, let us see the cloud service model. Now, here there are three service models. They are SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. Here, SaaS stands for Software as a Service, and here Platform as a Service, and here Infrastructure as a Service. So, there are three service models. They are SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. And here, this SaaS is the topmost layer, this is the middle layer, and this is the bottom layer. So, these are different models of cloud service. And here, if you look at the diagram, so this platform, this layer mainly used by the end users. And here, this middle layer, PaaS, is will be used for application development by application developers. And this is the physical layer or infrastructure and network architecture. So this represents the physical infrastructure of the network or the system. So these are all three reference service models of cloud services. Now let us see these things. Here again, SaaS here generally deals with scientific applications, social networking, and end user applications. So these SaaS deals with or loaded with the applications, different types of applications through API. Next one is Platform as a Service, and this is the one is going to provide a runtime environment for different applications and data processing for different platform services. And here, Infrastructure as a Service or IaaS, it is a virtual servers or storage and networking. These are all the physical servers. So these are all the functions of or responsibility of different service models of cloud services. Now let us see the cloud reference model, the definition of this. See, what is the advantage of cloud service model? So it is a layered model, it is a layered view covering entire stack from hardware appliances to the software system. So these service models is going to provide services from hardware applications to different software systems. And the physical infrastructure that is managed by the core middleware. So this is the middleware, PaaS, Platform as a Service. So first one is Software as a Service, SaaS. And here it provides a runtime environment for different applications and to best utilize the resources through different APIs. And this is the bottom of the stack, that is virtualization technologies are used to guarantee runtime environment or customization, application isolation, sandboxing, etc. at the IaaS or IaaS. See, these are all the different applications of three different reference models. Now in this next slide, we see what is PaaS or Platform as a Service. So here it provides a development and deployment platform for running applications in the cloud. So here this Platform as a Service, it is a middleware, means it is the middle level of the service model where it's going to create a platform or develop a platform for different applications to be run or to provide runtime environment, and also you can deploy or you can develop different types of applications, or also deployment means implementing different applications through different platform. So that is the main function of PaaS, that is platform as a service. It is a middle layer. Now look at the diagram here. So this is the PaaS service and it's going to provide different types of services. As I said, one is operating services. It's going to provide different types of operating for different applications, and hosting services, and security services, software services, and database and network access. See, these are all the different applications can be hosted or can be used at the PaaS, that is in the middleware. Now look at the diagram here. So here, this is how to show the reference of PaaS here, services here. So this is the user and the internet, and this is a cloud service provider. And here, one of the business applications, this unstructured storage, API, this application program interfaces, and structured storage. So this is going to provide a platform for different types of applications used by the user. So here, the user can make use of different services with a different platform. That is the definition of PaaS. Now, it is a middleware for developing applications together with the infrastructure, or simply provide users with the software that is installed on the user premises. It is just like an interface, or a middleware is going to provide users with the services at the user premises. Now, next one is runtime framework, means it executes end user code according to the policies set by the user and the provider. So in other words, we can say it is going to provide runtime environment where the users can run or execute different types of applications at the user end. Now, abstraction. So what is abstraction here? It offers a way to deploy and manage applications on the cloud. The abstraction here is the PaaS solution is going to provide a service for deployment and managing applications in the cloud. Now, next one is automation. What is automation? So, PaaS environments automate the process of deploying applications to the infrastructure, scaling them by provisioning additional resources when needed. This process performed automatically and according to the SLA made between the customers and the provider. So what is automation? So here the applications are run by the process of automation. With the help of the infrastructure, scaling them by provisioning additional resources. Suppose any customers or any user, he would like to utilize some other services, or maybe in terms of hardware or a software, it can be scalable. So it's going to provide a scalable solution with respect to different hardware or software applications through automation. That is one of the function of PaaS, platform as a service. Now, what are the key features of PaaS here? It provides platform with tools to test, development, and deployment with the same environment of user. So, what are the key features of this? So, it's going to provide tools for testing, development, and deploying the same environment of the user. Suppose if a user with one platform, so this PaaS is going to provide the solution with the same platform used by the user, irrespective of their services. So that is one of the point here. And enable organization to focus on development without worrying about the underlying infrastructure. So this is PaaS is a middle layer or a middleware. So here it is going to provide a service to the users. So here the users need not to worry about the underlying infrastructure or the physical structure of the services. Now it manages services, security, OS, and backup. So another feature of this PaaS service, facilitation for collaboration of work. So it's going to facilitate collaboration of work, means a teamwork. Any user can work, or a group of users can come together, they work together from different locations. That is the meaning of collaboration of work. These are the key features. Now, what are the advantages of PaaS services here? One is lower administration overhead, lower cost of ownership, and here ownership in the sense the service provider will be having all infrastructure and the user is only using the services for as per the agreement. Now, scalable solutions. So, at any point of time, any services can be scalable at the user's level or at the service provider's level. Now, technology, software, and updating. So, here the service provider he has to take care of the updation of different types of software as per the required by the user. These are the advantages of PaaS services. And what are the drawback here or disadvantages? Lack of portability between the PaaS clouds. So it is difficult or is a complex process to move from one PaaS cloud services to another PaaS services. Now, event-based processing and scheduling and security depends on the infrastructure as the service provider. So it depends on the infrastructure of the service provider as the users only the request for different types of services from the cloud service provider. These are all the drawbacks of PaaS solution or PaaS services. Now let us move on to next concept or next model, that is software as a service, that is SaaS. This is another reference model. So a delivery model that provides access to applications through the internet as web-based services. So SaaS is the top level or the first level is going to provide and web-based services. It is going to provide or the users can access the services through APIs. So that is the function of SaaS here. And it provides means to free users from complex hardware and software management by affording such tasks by third parties which build applications accessible to the multiple users through web browsers. So as this is the responsibility of the service provider, so at this model, the software applications are implemented or developed as per the required by the user or according to the require of the users, either by the provider or by the third party services. They are going to build the applications for multiple users through web browser. So here this is web browser application. Through web browser applications, the user can access this type of different cloud services. Now look at the diagram here. So this is the diagram here. This is the SaaS, this is the cloud service as a model here. So it's going to provide different types of services at this layer. Now what are the security issues here? Data breach, network security, authentication and authorization, data integrity, availability, web application security, backup, and data security. So this is the main concern with the security of the data from the users. Now what are the characteristics of SaaS here? So the product sold to customer is application access. So whatever the product at the layer or the service provider is application access. It can be accessed through API, different APIs. Now application is centrally managed. So because this is from the cloud service provider, he is going to maintain that the service provider, they are going to have a centralized management system for different applications or services for multiple users. So here the service delivered as a one-to-many, as because the same applications is shared by number of users or multiple users, that is one-to-many. The service delivered as an integrated solution delivered on the contract, which means provided as promised. So here it is going to provide a solution to the customer or the user as per their contract. So it is a distributed model where applications are hosted by the provider and made available to the users over internet. So obviously the service provider will be hosting or will be having the infrastructure, and all these are available to the users or multiple users. So these are the characteristics of SaaS service model. What are the advantages of this? One is easy administration, automatic update and automatic patch management. It is through service provider, and the service provider must have the facility for automated update and automatic patches for any types of softwares, and compatibility with the user software. So cloud service provider will be having, they are going to provide the services where the SaaS provides the compatibility with the user software or user's platform. Now easier collaboration and global accessibility. I mean, any services can be accessible by the user globally at from different locations at any point of time. Now it provides API, means application program interface, which allow developers to develop a customized applications. So here in the developer software development is a customer applications can be done by providing different APIs to the users. These are all the advantages of services. Next one is, what are the different applications of SaaS services here? One is billing and invoices, CRM, customer relation management applications, help desk applications, and HR department, means human resource department. These are the different services available to the users at SaaS layer or SaaS model. Drawback of this, disadvantages. One is browser-based risk. The meaning here is same browser for different applications. Better to have one separate browser for SaaS applications. So generally, the users at their premises may be using only one common browser for different or to access different services, for different web services from the provider. So it is better to have a different browsers or more than one browser for different applications, especially for SaaS applications. So better to have one particular browser for SaaS applications. Now network dependence. Here, services are usable when there is a network support. They are not guaranteed the network round the clock. So this is problem with the networking here. So the service provider is they're going to provide the service round the clock based on provided there is a continuous network to be up for round the clock service. Means when network should be on, then only it is possible for us to access services. So any problem on the network at the provider level or at the user level, so then there is a problem of accessing services. So this is network dependence is one of the drawback of this type of service model. Lack of portability between the SaaS clouds. So to move from one SaaS cloud to another SaaS cloud, it is a complex process. These are the disadvantages of SaaS services. Now in the next slide, we will see another service, that is IaaS or HaaS. Here it stands for infrastructure and hardware as a service, IaaS or HaaS. So what is the meaning of this? Solutions are the most popular and developed market segment of the cloud computing, and they deliver customizable infrastructure on demand. So here this infrastructure is at the bottom level, or it is the bottom model here, where it's going to provide the physical structure or physical network to the service providers. So this is the infrastructure on demand, and the available options within the IaaS offering range from single server to entire infrastructures, including network devices, load balancers, and database and web servers. See, these are the different applications or services provided by the provider at this level or at this IaaS model. So in this model is going to provide the physical infrastructure or different services to the users. Now look at the diagram here. So here this is a service provider. If you look at the architecture of this is multi-cloud infrastructure, and this is end user applications, and this is a data center. So here this is the end user. He will access the services through service provider, and the service provider will be having multi-cloud infrastructure. So this is IaaS. In the next slide, now look at what are the features of IaaS. Here it is the top layer or user interface provided as access to the services by the software management infrastructure. And the core feature of a solution are implemented in the infrastructure management software layer. So here whatever the infrastructure is, the physical layer or the physical devices all will be taken care of by the software layer. So in particular, management of virtual machines is the most important function of at this layer. So virtual machines. So here all the services from the providers are accessible through virtualization or the concept of virtual machines, that is, and this takes place at this layer or at this level. So the central role is played by the scheduler, which is in charge of allocating the execution of the virtual machines instances. So here there is a scheduler to work with or to coordinate with the virtual machines. The bottom layer is composed of the physical infrastructure, on top of which the management layer operates. Obviously, the IaaS is the bottom layer where the physical infrastructure will be available. So on top of the physical structure, so they're going to work with the management layer or software layer. So this is a physical structure. Over it is going to work with the software layer through applications. Now the scheduler here, the scheduler interact with the other components that perform a variety of tasks. Here the scheduler, as we have seen in the previous slide, scheduler is also available for virtual machines. The pricing and billing component, and these are all different schedulers or the tasks at the IaaS model or in that reference model. So they will be having a scheduler, one for pricing and billing component. So it's going to take care of the usage of the users, and based on that is going to bill according to the prices. Now the monitoring component, this is another task. These are different types of scheduler at the IaaS model. So monitoring component, the reservation component stores the information to all the virtual machines instances that have been executed. So it's going to store the instances of the virtual machines or usage of the users, and its support for QoS based execution is provided, and management component will maintain a repository of all the SLAs made within the user. So here the meaning here is all the activities or operations are stored in that particular server through a different types of scheduler. And here the VM repository with virtual machine, its component provides catalog of virtual machine images that users can use to create virtual instances. So the VM repository is a type of scheduler is going to maintain the record or history of usage of virtual machines by the users. Now the VM pool manager, another scheduler, a component is responsible for keeping track of all the live instances by the user. Now a provisioning component, it interacts with the scheduler to provide virtual machine instances that is external to the local physical infrastructure directly managed by the pool. So this is another type of scheduler at IaaS layer. Now let us look at the advantages and drawbacks of IaaS services here. One is scalability advantage. Any services can be scalable. So whenever any service to be added, it can be added, or any services to be removed from the service from the user, that can be done. That is scalability. Cost efficiency, we are paying or the customers are billed only for the usage at that particular time. Now flexibility, disaster recovery, time saving, global reach, and maintenance free. These are all the advantages of IaaS services. And one drawback is security concerns, because the security concerns mainly because the same infrastructure is used by multiple users. For example, only one type of server, for example, web server. The same web server will be used by number of clients. So that could be the drawback of these services in concern with the security. Next, complexity. There's in terms of configuration of different clients to the same machines, and risk associated with downtiming, and hidden cost, and vendor locks in, and issues with the compliances. These are all the main drawbacks of this service. Now let us compare all the three reference models of the cloud services, that is IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS services here. So here if you look at this, this is the whatever in the black, we are going to manage this, and these are the things will be managed by the other service providers. Infrastructure as a service, in this model, all these will be maintained by the user, and servers, storage, networking are managed by the provider. And again, at this platform as a service, here it's going to provide runtime. All these will be maintained by the provider. Runtime environment is a middleware, operating system, virtualization, servers, storage, networking, and the users can make use of only applications and data. That is the difference between all the three here. Now, at the software as a service, so here only the users will make use of all the services through API, means application program interfaces. So for different applications and all the thing from infrastructure to platform up to software, all these services are maintained at the service provider. So these are all the differences between three types of reference models of cloud services. Students, so far we have discussed about the cloud service models. They are infrastructure as a service, software as a service, and platform as a service. Let us continue our discussion in my next class. Thank you very much.